hope you're all keeping well through our devotional study. If you're falling behind, don't worry about it. Continue with us from today, from chapter 7, and catch up whenever you have some spare time. Today's proverb is from chapter 7, and it is a continuation of chapter 5 and 6, and it's Solomon describing or talking about sexual immorality. And from verse 6 to verse 27, Solomon describes a story, or tells his son a story about a young person falling into adultery with a worthy woman. But before that young person reached falling into temptation, Solomon shares with his son a shield which ought to protect us from falling into sexual immorality. And verse 1 begins by saying, "My son, keep my words and treasure my commands within you. Keep my commands and live." We see here Solomon emphasizing the importance of keeping his commands. And I want us to emphasize and realize the importance of keeping God's commands. And keeping God's commands will not just gain us value, but it will give us great profit, and not just in this life, but throughout eternity. And Solomon doesn't just say or tells them, keep these for practical reasons, or keep these for as practical value, but keep them or give them such importance that it is just as you cannot live without them. In today's world, a lot of people know things. A lot of people say they know Jesus. But knowing Jesus can just translate, or it has to translate into obeying Jesus, into doing what Jesus tells us to do. And we see an example in Luke where Jesus encounters a woman and tells us that you call me Lord, Lord, but you do not do what I say. So I realized that scriptures are intended not just to share with us good ideas which maybe can bring us above our peers or our friends, but it is intended to communicate with us God's wisdom. It is intended for us to receive the wisdom and live eternally with God. And brother and sister, wisdom is not given by taking a class or by doing a course. It is by obeying God, or it is gained through obedience. And I know that today, especially for young people, it is hard to obey God, as we think we know it all. We think we know what we should say, what we should believe, what we should do. But in order for us to receive God's wisdom, we have to obey God. We have to trust in God that He knows what is best for our lives. And for me, it is clear in this chapter that in order to become sexual immorality, if you're struggling with that, in order to overcome temptations in our life, we have to set ourselves aside for God. We have to obey and receive the wisdom of God, and in order to overcome any temptation. So I want to bless us all, and I want to bless you all, and I hope this message is a blessing to you.